Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Filmmakers Room. My name is Andrew Hernández. I'm a filmmaker and producer. If you like this content, don't forget to subscribe, hit share, like, all that good stuff. And today, actually, I got a very special guest because she was the one who brought me in this conversation in Florida. She put me in the spot, she got me in trouble. She's Naomi González-Freites, and she has a lot going for herself. She has a feature documentary. She's a director of a production studio in Lake-Sumter State College. She's owner of her own production studio called Lightbox Studio. She's a TV producer, a Telly Award winner, and obviously she's a great human being and a friend. Así que, yeah, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. Wow. You put all that there.
I try my best, but you can surely tell us more about yourself or what you're going on. Today is all going to be about digital media and production studios because why not? That's why you're expert at it. So, first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about the studio.
Yeah. So, before anything, the only thing missing from that list was that I'm a wife to a wonderful man, Placido. If you're watching, I love you. And then I have two beautiful boys. So, also doing the mom thing. So,
That's true. She's a mother, so you're a superhero. How could I forget? Right? That's the most important thing. Thank you
yeah,
so much for bringing it up. And going with that, what is tougher, being a mother or the production studio, running a studio?
being a mother for sure, for sure.
1,000 times.
Yes, 100%. Mothers being is much harder.
In that same line, what is the mindset you have to run? Like, what's the vision to run a production studio?
I think to run a production studio, you have to be very organized, and you have to be visionary. Um, just in my experience, running a production studio is not just about the hardware, but it's also the managing of personalities and everything that go on into what we do, you know. So that's kind of the unique thing when you're on the studio side of things. Um
Yeah, and especially in today nowadays that we have to come up with all of these ideas for this fast-paced world of content daily. What is the most challenging thing to come up with all ideas for the process you have to daily come up with? Tell us a little bit about that because I can imagine. Okay, you get to the studio. Okay, this is a nice playground. This is a nice place to be in, but I have to be creative.
yes. So being in the studio side of things, it's very easy to fall into doing the same thing over and over again, or into what's easier or simpler. Um, one of the biggest challenges with studio production, I think, is that of like how do I do something different? How do I make this more creative? And so I I basically I'm on Instagram, on YouTube, everywhere, just looking at what other people are doing, and then I'll go to the studio and tell the guys like, "Hey, I want to try this look." I watch music videos, get lots of ideas from music videos for set design and things like that. So, um, it's just staying up to date with the trends and everything. I personally love, you know, doing the art design and set design kind of stuff to help get that like aesthetic look for some of our interviews. But yeah, I would say with studio production that can be a challenge sometimes because I've been there where like we get a call like we're gonna do a thing. Oh, we'll just do the white backdrop and infinite white and call it a day. And at the end of the day, people are coming to you because they want you to make it creative. They trust in your creativity. That's why they're coming to you. So
Yes, and part of that process, in many of the cases, in all of these different type of studios, comes with a creative team.
mhm,
You need a team to do content
mhm.
in many of the cases. So I know that sounds cool and all, but what people don't know is that you're in the leader position, and that also comes with many challenges, right? You're ahead of the game, you're leading the team. So especially in art, in creativity, right? And
Mhm.
all of these technicians, what is the main driver you go to get your team to find their ways on the different content, to keep building, to keep doing, to keep making good content?
The main driver, honestly, I encourage them to do their own research. I encourage them to look at what other people are doing always, and to try new things. And also giving them some freedom, you know, because I lead, but a lot of times the value of having a team is that we all bring something different to the table. And so if you sometimes put the ball in their court, it's like, how would you do this? And you guys then collaborate. It's like, oh, I didn't think about doing it that way. So I think being able to give people that creative freedom in a creative environment helps motivate them, because then they feel valued, and then they feel like they're a part of the process. It's not just me, telling them what to do because I'm the boss.
In that same line of being a team leader, I have done my fair share leading creative teams and studios, and I ended up making some observations on how to lead a team, right, in these spaces, especially directors, right? It doesn't have to be a studio, it can be a movie, it can be a short film, whatever, a commercial. And I'd see two extremes also, right? I talk about this on my book, and fun fact, you helped me a lot in the
Mhm,
translations. Thank you a lot. That's
mhm,
another thing that I didn't mention at the beginning. And so there's some directors that are more purist, are more concentrated in the story of their own vision. And then they have a team, but they don't open up so much for the team to be creative. They're more like technician types, right? And there's another extreme that are directors that are more loosely, are more creative, but they can get distracted. They can be um, not giving the correct instructions to their team, so their team gets lost.
mhm.
You get those
Yeah.
extremes.
Mhm.
How do you Where do you find yourself, and how can you tell others that are in the same position where to find the sweet spot?
Yeah, and I think that's something that I try to do with every project, is try and find the sweet spot. There's projects that need me to be a little bit more direct, and then there's projects where I can be more flexible. I think it depends on the project that you're working on. Um, I I like to give creative freedom to and have that input. Um, every now and then, and maybe this is my marketing side of things. I think everything in some dollar signs, and the business side of things, I think in dollar signs. So I have to make a decision at the end of the day. So I don't like to waste time either. So it, as far as finding the sweet spot, um, I guess however you're planning your day, you just give a little bit of wiggle room. Um, but I think each team may have a different, you know, culture. I think it can depend on the culture of your team.
Got it. And going into the structure of the team, right? There's also another observation that I did, especially with students, a lot, or people that are in the studio realm. Sometimes they get what is called shiny syndrome, the shiny object syndrome. Have you heard of that? Shiny object syndrome.
Sounds familiar.
Well, shiny object syndrome is when people maybe see a very cool new technology, a very brand new camera that came to the
Okay.
studio or light or whatever, and they get so distracted by this nuanced technology, or it can maybe be a nice actor that comes in the studio, right? A
Mhm.
talent. And they get distracted and forget what they're there to do, or
Mhm.
they don't find their way to come up with new ideas because they're so distracted. How do you think you can help prevent that with your creative team to concentrate on the creativity and not in the tool or the object?
Okay. Um, I would say to help my team prevent itself from falling into the trap of whatever's the newest thing is really when they do bring me what the new thing is, just ask them and help them evaluate like, okay, how's this going to actually help us? Will this change something dramatically for us, or is this just a luxury? You know, um can we do what we need to do already without the shiny new thing? Um does it serve the story? That's principle. Does that shiny new thing serve the story, or are we gonna make the story serve the tool? Because that's at the end of the day, it's these are all tools. This microphone, the camera, the lights, those are all tools, but everything has to serve the story.
Got it. Story is king.
Hmm.
And going for story content creating also in now you took me to Florida. Help me figure out a little bit Florida, the market, the TV production, all of this market here. What do you think is unique to Florida, in the sense of making content or TV or marketing here in this place?
Florida's unique. And I think you'll find that on the internet. Florida is kind of the butt of many jokes online. You've heard of Florida Man, right?
Well, you know what? Now I've been keeping hearing that there's many jokes related to only Floridians that like they only get the jokes.
Yeah.
I still haven't, like figure out what those jerks are, but now I'll definitely keep an eye on them.
Well, in Florida, there
I mean,
tends
Gators maybe is one of them, right?
yeah, if there's gators involved or any sort of weird news or headline you'll see in the news, people kind of guess it's happening in Florida first before other states. It's just kind of a butt of a joke, but um, in Florida, the market's interesting. Me personally, I've been here for about 10 years now, and what I've seen here, I can speak to what I've seen here in Central Florida and the Lake County area, but um, definitely a lot of production going down in Miami. Definitely a lot of production going down in the Tampa area as well. When you're talking the high, high end production, commercial level, film, music industry. You can, hello, it's Miami. Um, but here in Central Florida, I find most of my colleagues are working in marketing. So, whether that looks like maybe they are part of a production house, an independent production house of some sorts, or they work from a corporation, from an in-house team. Um, uh, Mostly, most of my colleagues are working in the marketing realm of things. A lot of creation, content because marketing has changed. So,
What do you mean that marketing has changed? Tell me a little bit about that.
well, people don't like commercials anymore. That's the truth. You try and skip commercials. Back in the day, commercials were the number one thing, but um, nowadays that's changed a little bit with people having options, people streaming on different platforms. So, um, we have to adapt and overcome. Marketing now is what value are you bringing to the client? What sort of information that's new, that's different that you're bringing to the client. So that can look like informational video, educational video. It's not just buy my product anymore. It's this is how this product is going to help you, and this is how this will, whatever, expand your business. um and from the content creation standpoint, because of social media, you want to share information that's useful, because that's what people share. People don't share commercials like they share life hacks. How many times you see a TikTok video or Instagram that's, you know, showing you a new thing, how to do something. YouTube is full of tutorials. So, um, people are marketing, but they're just doing it in different ways now. It's more, you have to provide more value now.
You did a documentary, a feature film, especially unique because it's about also some kind of story in Florida.
Hmm.
And so you bring value with your content in this way. Can you tell us a little bit about your challenges, your process into building this documentary?
Yeah. So this documentary started off as a project to celebrate the 60-year anniversary of the institution that I work for, which is Lake-Sumter State College. They wanted to do something different because it was a big milestone. The documentary is called From the Grove to Graduation, the story of higher education in Lake and Sumter counties. And it talks about the story of how the college was founded. There were actually two colleges that were founded simultaneously in the time of the civil rights era that were then integrated into one college after the Civil Rights Act. And so we got to interview alumni, students that were the first original students of the institution back in the 60s. And so one of the major challenges that I had with that project was finding who the students were. You're talking about students, well, you're talking about people that went to the college 60 years ago. So if you do the math, you're talking about people that are probably upwards near their 80s. How am I going to reach those people? Not all of them are on Facebook. Um, I didn't have a contact book um or you know a directory to look from. So it literally was a grassroots effort of me reaching out to friends in the community, asking them to share on their social media to see if those people had family members, relatives that went to school at the time because um, it was a small school back in the day, and hoping that some of those people stayed in this area. We crossed our fingers, and we were able to find a few, um, which we were allowed us to make the documentary, and um, it was a really fulfilling project, on our part and on our team's part. It was probably, the project I put the most heart in.
Yeah, and it shows. And especially for the community.
Mhm.
And talking about the community, actually, we forgot something to mention. You are also a pastor, right? A minister. So there you go. You're on the spot. Actually, I think it's brilliant that you're also in this other section of the community, and I'm pretty sure you use digital media also in that section. And I'm sure people that are seeing want to know how do you implement all of your knowledge and skills in digital media in that section.
Mhm. So, yes, I am an associate pastor at Senda Church. It's a bilingual multicultural church in Tavares. I pastor alongside my husband there, over the worship and media ministries. Those are our ministries that we look over, and social media. And so, obviously, because of what I do and what I bring to the table, our biggest thing that I try to implement is good storytelling in social media, good storytelling in just overall. On the ministry side of things, it's a little bit different. You know, because I go from video marketing to then going into ministry where I talk about that one-on-one marketing, that word of mouth marketing. Um, Word of mouth is the number one form of marketing. And so when you're evangelizing or when you're trying to spread the gospel, um, it's a little bit different than how I would approach the business side of things. So I've given that talk at our church a lot, as far as I don't I don't try to depend on video marketing as much as the word of mouth marketing actually. Um, but we will be producing some stuff in the near future. Um, just some content for YouTube and stuff. But
Like what? Give us a little bit of a spoiler there. Yeah.
oh. So, we plan on producing some stuff with our worship team. We wanna start producing some, covers and things like that that are gonna get posted on our YouTube channel, and then some other content, to make use of the studio. So, I also have the studio, Lightbox Studio, which is in the same, facility as the church. So you have Send a Church, and next door is Lightbox Studio. Lightbox Studio is a psych wall rental studio, and so I plan on making use of that studio space to produce some original content, mostly in the form of testimonials.
Oh, that's super nice. Especially when you say testimonials, there's some powerful stories of people, normal people that are
Mhm.
waiting to, being told. And talking about the studio, to start closing up the circle, where can people actually find those services, where they can reach out, find the studio, if they want to be part of whatever you're doing, or they want to reach out to do some of their work in the studios? Go for it.
Yeah, so, our studio is located at 1410 East Alfred Street, Tavares, Florida. Um, it's a studio that's available for rent on peerspace.com. It's available 24/7. There's no minimum hours that you have to rent it for. Um, and it includes lighting equipment and some tools. I've got a smoke machine, I've got spotlights, I've got some fun things in there, some props. And so basically it's a space for creators, for photographers, videographers, to get creative in there. We got RGB lights in there. And again, next door is Send a Church. So if you're also looking for a church,
What's that?
a little plug for the church. If you're also looking for a church, and we're right next door, and you can get your photo shoot and then go to worship.
Get the prayer, get the
Yes.
prayer. Hey, that's amazing. I'm pretty sure many students will watch this, and maybe they got some questions for you. Is there a way they can reach out, any social media, or it's just the studio that they can find you personally?
Yeah, they can find me on Instagram. I have my personal page, which is Naomi Gonzalez Pictures. And then I have, the studio page, which is at Lightbox Studio FL. So Lightbox Studio FL. And then you can follow me there, and I'm on Facebook as well. Yeah, go ahead, reach out. I'm easy.
Yeah, reach out if you're a student. She's actually also a good teacher. You're now doing your master's degree, right?
Yes.
You want to
Well,
talk a
thanks
little
for
bit about
putting
that?
that out there.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, sorry, it was a secret. Oh, I'm so sorry. We can edit it.
It wasn't a secret, but yeah. Now
Okay.
now the pressure's on.
Yeah, yeah, you're a good teacher. I see
Yeah.
your stuff. You're good mentoring your creative team,
Yeah.
and they've
Thank you.
definitely improved a lot.
Mhm.
I mean, the time that I got here,
Mhm.
and now over almost a year, I have seen them improve, and it's all because of your teachings. Definitely.
Oh, thank you. And part of it though, but I thank you for helping us step up the game too, giving us
Thank you.
some input and uh like I said, it's not the same when mom says it. You know what I mean?
Got it. Got it.
you
I
you
didn't
know,
see that one coming.
I can say some things and it'll go whoosh, but
Got it.
someone else come in and okay, yeah.
I appreciate a lot and you guys' effort in everything. Honestly, I love everything that you do. So there you go. That's Naomi and his and her team and the studio. Everything that she's doing. Go ahead and follow her. This is remember the Filmmakers Room. Go ahead and give a like, subscribe, share. If you like video, if you like digital media, you like film. No matter what it is, it has moving images. This is the place to share ideas, okay? And this is for everybody. This is for common people, whoever it is. If you're somewhere in the community working with cables or bringing coffee, I don't care. There's a spot for you. And reach out. You can maybe end up here having an interview. And also, you can follow me, Andrew Hernandez, in my Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I'm everywhere, okay? But especially go ahead and keep watching the YouTube channel. because and the Filmmakers Room podcast, because in the YouTube channel you will see many more guests like her, professionals in the industry or common people that are trying to figure this out, okay? Especially here in Florida. So thank you so much, Naomi, for being here and being part of the Filmmakers Room.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
That's great.